Now we turn to the United Kingdom for a few days now. That name has seemed ironic, United Kingdom, because unity wasn't really on display. In fact, it was the opposite. You could only see hate and division because riots were breaking out all over the country. Anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant riots. They began last week because of misinformation. A 17-year-old British citizen attacked a dance studio in Southport. He stabbed multiple children and 3 young girls died in the attack. The attacker was born in Wales to parents of Rwandan origin, but social media said that he was a Muslim immigrant, which was all it took to expose Britain's fault lines. Hundreds of people believed the rumors and they began targeting mosques and immigrant shelters. Ordinary people from both these communities are terrified.
I'm a Scouser, born and bred in the city of Liverpool, but seeing the events that have just taken place in the city of Liverpool, and not just the city of Liverpool, but in the UK as a whole, it's really scary seeing the people rioting, looting the shops.
People are really scared to come out. There are a lot of ethnic minority people whom I spoke to, and they're really scared to come out.
Not just Muslim?
Not just Muslim. I'm from India. To be honest, I can't come out and tell to the protesters or the people who are running towards me, hundreds of crowds, that, oh no, I'm not a Muslim, I'm from India, please don't spare me. That's not possible. So everyone is scared about it.
People from every minority community have been scared all over the UK. The riots began in Southport, the city where the stabbings took place, and then they spread all over the country, from Belfast in Northern Ireland to Sunderland in northeast England to Plymouth in the southwest. Almost every major city saw riots, and more were expected yesterday. About 100 locations were facing quote-unquote credible threats. 6,000 British police officers were mobilized. They were preparing for the worst, but then this happened. If we don't get no justice, you don't get no peace. Thousands of counter-protesters took to the streets yesterday. These are people who oppose the recent violence, people who oppose the Rioters. And what do these counter-protesters want? They want to keep welcoming refugees into the UK. They want to keep promoting the idea of British multiculturalism. Yesterday, these people, the counter-protesters, were out in full force all over the UK, and they heavily outnumbered the potential rioters. Look at this picture from Brighton. There's a sea of counter-protesters, and there's a small area cordoned off by the police. They're in bright yellow vests. The police made that little bubble to protect the anti-immigrant demonstrators. Only 4 or 5 of them had shown up, and they couldn't do much. They were surrounded. The sea of counter-protesters raised slogans. They kept chanting, "Nazi scum off our streets." In fact, this chant was heard all over the UK yesterday. Right, you good. You so the Rioters are being called Nazis. Before this they were labelled far-right thugs by Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer. He's been in damage control mode for days, but he seemed pleased with how things turned out yesterday.
Last night, I think the fact we didn't see the disorder that was feared is because we had police deployed in numbers in the right places, giving reassurance to communities.
Starmer may insist that it was all down to the police, but even the police know where the real credit goes.
It was a massive, placing operation. I'm really pleased with how it went, and we put thousands of officers on the streets, and I think the show of force from the police and, frankly, the show of unity from communities together defeated the challenges that we've seen, and it went off very peacefully last night.
A show of unity from communities. It was ordinary people who stopped the rioters last night, not the police, not the government, but ordinary people from all walks of life. On the one hand, it's inspirational people coming out to support their neighbors to protect British multiculturalism, but it's also worrying the rioters were ordinary British people as well. Their actions show that there is simmering resentment in the UK waiting to erupt at a moment's notice. Yesterday's demonstrations may bring some joy to the scared minority communities, but it won't make Britain's division suddenly disappear. Something has to be done to address the root cause of the riots. The anger in British society needs to be addressed, or another riot will only be one social media rumor away. Thanks for watching this video.